scriptures, it got my mind blown. And since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. Yeah, this what is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. And since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, yeah, this what is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. Since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. Yeah, this what is so wicked, it got my mind gone. But we been flipping through scriptures, it got my mind blown. Since we back on the mission with our forefathers' traditions, and we been painting the pictures like the time drawn. I done been tried in that fire and made it out.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to another week of
Let's Talk Truth.
Today you got myself, Officer Emmanuel,
Officer Baruch,
Officer Jeremiah, Officer Jonah, Officer Zachariah,
Officer Ezra,
Officer Isaiah.
all praise to the Most High.
all
So this week, all praises. We got a hell of a topic on our hands to top off the Black History Month series that we've been doing on Let's Talk Truth, right? A lot of people don't know, when they think of Arkansas, Arkansas, they think of Razorbacks and white people tailgating.
And Bill Clinton.
Yeah, they think we just got a bunch of old town roads or something.
Right.
facts.
But no, Little Rock got some history.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of
Massive.
Arkansas in general, we got a lot of history that pertains to our people.
Right.
Black and Native American. For real, for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And today we gonna deal with a lot of history in Little Rock. You know, when people think of Little Rock in history, they think of the Little Rock 9.
right?
right.
You know what I'm saying? That dealt with Central High School. Now, what we gonna go into, it kind of
It's another nine.
it deals with the Central. It has some involvement or relativity with it, but for the most part, what we finna go over today, I had never heard about in my entire life.
Wow.
Ever. Considering I done went to school in Little Rock.
Right.
And they never said nothing about West 9th Street. Never said nothing about Dreamland. Ever.
I tell you why. You know what? Because see, we actually make a joke a lot. We made the joke yesterday. Conway, that's where I grew up for the most part. It's a more white area. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We learn Arkansas history, but we still don't learn about West 9th Street. They wouldn't dare teach y'all Arkansas history in Little Rock.
Yeah,
then they would
nah.
have to teach you about it.
Yep.
Because they got that one building still standing. That's crazy. Go ahead.
Yep. So so I'm telling you, this is a for people that's local. I know a lot of the people that listen to the Real Underground Radio, y'all are residents of Little Rock and North Little Rock and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So it's only right that we finish off the month dealing with history in Arkansas, Black history.
Right.
All right, and it's excellent Black history. A lot of us, we don't realize that, we talk about Black Wall Street and all this, and that really just started to come out and be talked about within the last decade.
Right.
But we don't understand that we had something of that same nature right here where we at.
People flocked here.
Right, and the crazy thing about it is that the people that developed that success and that mecca of business and whatnot on West 9th Street, when they were spread out and scattered out, you know what I'm saying, them same descendants now killing each other and banging, talking about some, I'm from the E.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The reason why your ass ended up over there was because your people was doing so damn good, the white man hated on them. And put them in a project. We gonna get in all that. Go ahead.
Shoot, I was just gonna say they your real enemies. They let you know. Shoot.
Right.
Them your enemies. But,
Yeah, so before we get into that, we're gonna deal with with everybody been the talk of social media, the whole, United States talking about it. So we're gonna touch on it. I don't wanna spend too much time on it because unless you've been living under a rock, you should know what the hell going on.
Exactly.
But let's warm up with this right here. Play that video.
3 floors of a block of flats and 1 missile. The capital Kyiv today. 2 people were killed and more were injured.
We managed to escape. We were in the kitchen. We were lucky. It was a direct hit into the living room. My wife and elder child have their legs broken. They have legs broken open. The younger one was taken somewhere by the rescuers. I'm looking for him now.
Russia says it is only attacking military targets.
Еще раз подчеркну, что огонь ведется только по объектам военной инфраструктуры вооруженных сил Украины.
Ukrainian defiance wherever, whenever, however. Ukrainian army sources say they destroyed this Russian convoy. In truth, they know they cannot stop the Russian advance, merely slow it. And in northeastern Ukraine, that meant standing in front of advancing Russian tanks. Melitopol, way down south on the coast, an elderly man confronts Russian troops. He says, "This is my country, my country. Don't you have problems in your own country?"
I don't actually see a total overrunning of a country which is almost the size of France, with 45 million people in it plus. And so that's no simple undertaking, even for the post-Soviet army of Russia.
Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says they don't want to occupy Ukraine. But check that against delivery. His line manager, of course, said they wouldn't invade. This from Belarus, trainloads of pain. Russia armor on the move. What we've seen in Ukraine, a fraction of what remains available. America offered to evacuate the country's president. He said, "I don't want a ride, I want ammunition."
Ніяку зброю ми не складемо. Будемо захищати нашу державу, тому що наша зброя – це наша правда. Наша правда в тому, що це наша земля, наша країна, наші діти. І ми все це будемо захищати. Ось і все. Ось це і є те, що я хотів вам сказати.
We got a disclaimer, so y'all don't know what the hell he's saying.
Ukraine is under invasion from the north via Russia's...
So just to bring y'all up to speed, I know Deacon Malachi, he covered it. You know, I know a lot of y'all probably don't know who that is. That's on the Real Underground Radio, but yesterday he dealt with basically the history behind this whole beef, or the reason why Russia would be invading Ukraine.
Right.
Basically, Ukraine, they one of the ones that broke the Warsaw Pact, right? So they broke the Warsaw Pact. That was something that Russia made with, you know, basically bordering countries to stand up against NATO, or, you know, to whatever. So Ukraine decided that they want to play with fire, even though they right in Russia's backyard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to join on America's side, and Russia not having it. What's his name? Putin.
Yep.
He not finna allow the enemy to set up shop right in his backyard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You too damn close to be siding with the enemy, bruh. You know what I'm saying? So they like you force Vladimir Putin, like, you forcing my hand.
Right.
You finna have to make me go in your country and drop bodies.
Right.
But everybody painting Russia and Putin like they the bad guy.
Right.
When they just defending their country. America the one trying to, what's the word, imputing on, you know what I'm saying, territory way on the other side of the world.
What the hell is this?
America is the reason why Ukraine losing lives right now.
Facts.
It's America's fault.
Facts.
All right, but what you see going on in the video is you got civilians, people, you know what I'm saying, that's having to try to stand in front of tanks and trying to, Russia, stop! You go back to your own country. You got your own problems. You know there's some damn desperation.
Right.
If civilians
That's some white
gotta
people
go
stuff.
out there and try to confront the Russian army. This ain't, you know, the damn Boy Scouts. You got nations that's really, really scared of Russia. And you coming off your couch. You ain't had no military training or nothing like that. You coming off your couch, you were just sipping some Folgers, and you going to confront some soldiers. You know what I'm saying? This some wild stuff. This some wild times we living in, bro. For real. Go back to the video. See if you can skip forward to some.
Hey, what's crazy too is that guy right there. He's what's the name of that? The Ukraine city he in?
He
the president anyway. He's the president.
Kyiv.
So basically, he trying to say we still got a stronghold. We standing strong, right? Man, he by his damn self. Everybody done left the damn country. He got a few military people there, but he gone.
Come on now,
It's
dog.
tough, man.
Hey, keep going forward. Let me see. Keep going. All right. Go to like 5:30. Yeah.
Go ahead. You say what? Yeah, we seeing it here, man. So y'all make sure y'all paying attention. Tune in.
To Poland, to Romania, to safety.
Go
Well,
back.
as Russian
go back.
troops
Go back. Go like 5. Yeah, bro, right there.
As Russia at home assaults social media, restricting some access to Facebook. For millions of Ukrainians, another night tonight will be in cellars, bunkers, Kiev's underground system. Nights they could not have imagined even a week ago. And here, one new Ukrainian life began, again with a mum who could scarcely have imagined this so recently. Above ground, they stream out west in the precious uncurfewed hours of daylight. To Poland, to Romania, to safety.
Well, as Russian troops continue advancing into Ukraine, they are meeting stiff resistance from Ukrainian forces backed by newly armed volunteers. Our international editor, Lindsay Hilsum, drove south from Dnipro to the city of Zaporizhia. She's back in Dnipro now. Lindsay.
Kathy, the lights have just gone out on the street where I am as the curfew has come into force. The strategy of defiance here hasn't yet made contact with the enemy. But I keep thinking today about morale. What is the morale and motivation of the Russian forces? Because all this time they've been told that they were not going to invade Ukraine. They were on exercises. President Putin was clear that wasn't what they were going to do. And yet that is exactly what they've been told to do. And many of those Russian soldiers, well, they will have had grandparents who are Ukrainian, maybe even one parent Ukrainian, one parent Russian, because these two countries are very wound together. So it is interesting to think what on earth is going through their minds at the moment. We do know what is going through the minds of the Ukrainian Defense Forces. I spent quite a lot of time with them today. I talked to one young man who said, look, I have no nostalgia for the Soviet Union. I wasn't born then. I was born in a free, democratic, sovereign country called Ukraine. And that is what I am...
Hey, pause it real quick. There go the point right there. She said democratic. That's basically them converting to USA.
Right.
Right? And think about this, too. This woman right here is speaking English.
Right.
Every video you see about the Ukraine and the Russians, they don't speak English.
Right, you hear the
So what Officer Manuel was bringing up with the influence of the great USA influencing all these countries, we see it here. They're painting the narrative as Russia is bad, Russia, but they invading their ass. They the ones that's creeping in over there.
Right. What people don't realize, what people don't realize is when it comes to Russia and with Ukraine got democracy because of America. Right after the Soviet Union fell, they got democracy.
Right.
So Russia was like, okay, you got democracy. It's all good as long as you don't join our ops. You know what I'm saying? As long as you don't really join them. But now, whenever the consideration of Ukraine joining NATO, that's when the problem came involved. So hey, it's some stuff that's gonna go down. Well, it's already going down. But guess what? It's only gonna go to the next level.
Yeah, we seeing it right here.
Right.
Hey, we can play it.
Out of the checkpoint. This is how our day started. Not over their heads, but straight into their hearts. Volunteers train at a checkpoint south of Dnipro, Ukraine's third city. These are the men from the territorial defense. They're going to defend Dnipro because they know that the Russians could come in from Kharkiv to the north or from the south, from Mariupol.
Right.
And that's why they're here.
Civilians volunteering to be in defense of that city. We seeing it, right?
Hey, is America, is the American, I know Esau because you know they be at the gun stores.
Yeah, they
week.
ready.
They shoot a lot of deer.
You know what I'm saying? I can see some white Americans
Right.
just be ready to be about their life.
Right.
Probably in the South. Maybe the more urban metropolitan white folks, I don't know.
The
You
South
know what I'm
for sure.
saying? But I know damn well the nigga in the ghetto, he ain't ready for this.
He got two pistols max.
All them drilling, I slide on the ops and all that. I'm a gorilla and this and this and that. If that type of stuff pop off in America, them niggas ain't gonna be nowhere to be found.
Facts.
Niggas
Remember
gonna
like
be
you
hiding.
posted?
They gonna be hiding about it.
Right. Remember what you posted? What Yellow Beezy said?
Nah, we gonna show that. We gonna show that.
Yeah, we know Negroes ain't about to hop in there. They can barely hold the gun when they
They
shoot.
say they
it.
from Chirac.
They like this. These dudes fully flipping it upside down and everything.
And
We know it, man.
And that's the thing, like, people don't like understand, like, Ukraine, they under martial law right now. Martial law, so they gotta be prepared for that thing. But freaking America, we go under martial law for one. You got all these different gun laws in America. But, you know, we're gonna talk about it more, but what Ukraine is doing to their civilians, you know? How they giving them weapons to bear arms.
Right. You can play a little bit more of it, then we're gonna hit the scripts.
Today, preparing, getting ready, saying they will defend their city to the end. Russian tanks are still 200 kilometers away, but the Ukrainians are digging trenches, ready for the expected assault. The fact that President Zelensky has remained in Kiev despite the obvious risk has encouraged them.
President Biden, he said, we can take you from Ukraine, but he's still in Ukraine, he protects with us. So it's very like, we feel this together.
So that's important to you, that President Zelensky has remained in Kiev?
Yeah, yes.
Why is it so important?
When the first person of the Ukraine tell to the Russian president, we're ready for you, we're going to protect our land, we're strong, all people here feel strong with our president. Yeah.
Further south, we pass a few military vehicles along a road that's safe, at least for now. We cross the massive hydroelectric dam at Zaporizhia. Soviet forces destroyed it in World War II to hold up the German advance. Could the same happen again? And on through the town with its wide central boulevard.
All right, you can end it. All right, so the update on America's involvement with this is they just approved, was it 350 million or 350 billion? Was it million or billion?
It's probably a million.
Somewhere, I think it was 350 million in assistance for Ukraine to fight their war. Now, I mean, we dealing with our own economic crisis. You know what I'm saying? Everything going up. Gas $10 a gallon. But we got 350 million to send to Ukraine to help them against Russia. But the thing about that is that, and that's what caused these world wars, because we get into these pacts and agreements and covenants and things with these nations, and that's irregardless of whatever condition your nation is in at that time when that nation you made a pact with is in danger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if America don't step in and help with Ukraine, they violating that covenant. You know what I'm saying? So not only you still gonna have the same enemies you had in the first place, but then the people that you was in covenant with gonna turn into your enemy because you broke the covenant. That's what America trying to avoid. That's why they gotta go over there and help. And that's what people don't understand. They like, stay out of it, America. America don't got no they the reason behind it.
Right.
They the reason why the smoke coming to Ukraine. So America gotta get involved. The troops gotta go over there. So what's gonna happen, no matter what the media tell you, America gotta get involved.
Hey, Hey, one real quick point is that money that they sending over there. What's interesting is it's to help buy stuff for the bullets and this and that. But who's supplying it? So the money going right back to America or whoever America is allied with, partnered with to get the funds right back. So like we was talking about America, man, they playing a smooth, slick game, but their destruction is near.
Right. So it's 300. Appreciate that, Officer Titus. $350 million. All right, so it's million in military aid for Ukraine, right?
Right.
So let's go to the scripts. Give Mark chapter 13. Let's read verses 7 and 8. Because with a lot of people, and I'm seeing this with a lot of people that know that they the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, that know who they are, or whatever. And just seeing this stuff pop off, it's a lot of celebrating going on. And ain't nothing wrong with that per se. You know what I'm saying? But understand that we see that this being fulfilled, this is just the beginning. And this is what Christ said. It was going to mark the beginning of the end. And people don't understand, when you look into history, wars, like world wars, they brew up over time. So yes, this is starting the beginning of World War III. But that don't mean it's going to pop off the world war.
Right.
It's going to pop off next week. We gonna hop in the chariots and leave. This thing can draw out over a span of years. So within those years, with the beginning of this end happening, guess what? We gonna have to expect. It's a lot of stuff that's finna start unfolding. You know what I'm saying? In conjunction with the wars. All right, read that scripture.
The book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 7.
Uh-huh.
And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be.
Right. So when you hear about Ukraine and Russia, you see the bombs and, you know what I'm saying? People, they having to flee to Poland and all of that for refuge. And don't be troubled. Don't be scared. A lot of people scared right now. A lot of Jake. They get nervous. They like, damn, what if Russia, send that stuff over here? And a lot of people don't understand how close Russia is to America. Because when you look at the map, it's like, okay, America over here,
so
Russia
far
way
away.
over here. But
Right.
the Bible say the earth is a circle. So that end of Russia is neighbors with Alaska.
Right.
You can stand on the edge of Alaska and see Russia. Alaska is
That's
a
what they were
state
talking
of
about
America.
Sarah Palin about. She can look over there and look at them. Yeah.
Exactly. So they closer than you think.
Right.
See, and they here.
Hey, them flat maps.
They
done deceived
already
the hell out of me.
Hell yeah.
They
all
already
the flat earthers quiet as hell right now. But God said, God said, don't be troubled. All right, read on.
For such things must needs be.
It gotta happen. It gotta come to pass. Come on.
But the end shall not be yet.
But the end is not yet. Just because you see the bombs going off don't mean next week you get ready to hop in your chariot. You know what I'm saying? It ain't quite the end yet.
Right.
Read on.
For nation shall rise against nation,
Uh-huh.
and a kingdom against kingdom.
That's what we see going on. With Russia rising up against Ukraine, they mean a lot of them nations over there, them European nations on the west side, it's really the west versus the east, low key. In Europe.
Right.
It's the west versus the east. The Russia got a lot of the eastern countries allied with them, along with, I think, Spain. Spain, like the only Western European country that got allied with them. And then the rest of the Western European countries, along with America and the UK, they against Russia and they allies.
Right.
So that's what you see going on. You see one-on-one right now, but it's gonna turn into
right.
you know what they say in the world, one-on-one, then people start jumping in.
Right.
Nations finna start jumping in. Read on.
And there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles.
So you see, it's not side effects, but other supplemental things that go into play when these wars pop off.
Right.
Because you know what they doing against Russia, right? They cutting off their banks. They trying to they trying to tear their economy up. That's what the Revelation 13 mark of the beast is going into.
Right.
So they turn their economy up. So what do you think that's gonna do? That's dealing with trade. You know what I'm saying? All of that. What's gonna happen? Food shortages. All of that. And they gonna take the same thing with the food that come our way. They gonna, try to make it to where them ships don't make it over here, and we already dealing with that anyway. Not being able to dock at the coast. You know what I'm saying? So famines is a part of war. That's what's gonna happen, right? So you gotta prepare you ain't gonna be able to skip that. You're not gonna be able to skip having to try to survive off one meal a day, if that. We gotta go through that too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That got to come with this whole package. Understand that. Read on.
In diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrow.
These are the beginning of what?
Of sorrows.
So do you got a number beside their sorrows right there?
Yes, sir. It says, the word in the original imported, the pains of a woman in travail.
So what does this signify? All right, you see wars, rumors of war, nation rising against nation. All of this signifies that your deliverance is near. So just like a woman, when she got contractions, them birth pains, she, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's terrible. It's extremely painful. Right? But then that baby come out and it's just everlasting joy. That's us. In order for us to be delivered out of this captivity, in order for us to get out of the hands of our enemy, we got to go through a very, very painful experience, a time of tribulation first. So while these nations going to war, we going to suffer tribulation, persecution, famine, all of that. That's the beginning of sorrows. That is the contractions leading up to our deliverance. Real quick, get 2 Ezra 13. 2 Ezra 13, verse 29.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
So notice when the prophecies are being spoken of, right, in terms of deliverance, it says begin to deliver. These are the beginning of, it's a beginning to the end. The end is a process.
Right.
The end don't just happen.
Right.
It's a process. You know what I'm saying? So it's going into the times where the Lord will begin to deliver his people. We saw the Great Awakening happen. It started in 1969 pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Now you see thousands upon thousands of Israelites waking up and professing that they the true people of God.
That's right.
All over the world, the gospel being preached. Ain't that what Christ said? The gospel shall be preached throughout all the world.
That's right.
Then shall the end come. Right? So the fact that we see wars and rumors of wars, and now we're going to see you going to try to go into a city and not be able and all of this and this and that, that means the Lord then allowed the gospel to be preached everywhere, just like the times of the apostles. Before 70 AD,
right,
the apostles were traveling. And then, you know what I'm saying, the persecution hit heavy. Then Peter got crucified. Paul got crucified. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff, it's nothing new under the sun. So the fact that you've been seeing us go all over the world, teaching this gospel, all the continents, you know what I'm saying? That mean, I bet, the Most High finna turn the heat up with the nations. And a lot of the wrath, you know how Esau do when they losing, when they get mad at each other. They like to take it out on us.
Right.
All of that stuff got to go into play. Understand that. Read on.
And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another.
Read.
One city against another. One place against another. One people against another. And one realm against another.
One realm against another. So you're going to have the western realm versus the eastern realm.
Yep.
It is popping off with these two close neighboring ass countries. You know what I'm saying? Basically the borderline.
Right.
Right? That's what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. It's popping off what's going to turn into one world versus the other world, which is going to turn into World War III. It's going to take time to build up to that, but understand that's exactly what's taking place. The Lord is moving the pieces right into play. World War III is coming together slowly but surely.
That's
All
right.
Read on.
And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
So the same man that you saw ascending in Acts chapter 1, when he went up into the clouds, you know what I'm saying, and he gave the apostles a charge and he left, that same person gonna come back the same way in the clouds, in the chariots, while this world war is taking place. That's what God is telling us. When this world war is taking place, when one realm is fighting against the other, that's when you're gonna see the black Messiah crack the sky. Read on.
And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another.
So when they see, you got to think about it, right? Christianity teach you when Christ cracked the sky, he gonna gather everybody,
right? Big old hug,
and kiss them. You know what I'm saying? But God's saying when the nations see this man crack the sky, they gonna be like, oh no, this ain't important. We fighting each other. What the hell? That's the real enemy right there. They gonna see Jesus Christ crack the sky and say, that's the real enemy right there. Read on.
And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
Y'all gotta understand what the Bible. This how you know he a black man.
Right. Hey.
They gonna say to hell with this world war, to hell with this NATO, Warsaw Pact beef, whatever the hell. We gotta get rid of this nigga. So you gonna see Russia and Ukraine holding hands in that day, trying to fight against Christ and the angels, your Savior. This how you know God don't love everybody. Not everybody getting saved. Oh, that's some BS. Don't make no damn sense. What you see ultimately brewing up is the gathering of all the people to war against one another to really have them gather together against Christ and the angels, which is going to be the big war, but it's going to be easy money for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? 1 hour, and they done for real. But that's what you see this is ultimately building up to. This is just the beginning, though.
Yeah, you said 1 hour. They fighting days and days and probably don't lead to a year, whatever the case may be. But in 1 hour, when Christ returns, hey, it's over. I want one scripture real quick. Hey, can we go back to Mark 13? Mark 13. And let's read 33. Because there's a lot of information we just brought out pertaining to the return of Christ, these last days. Watch this. Mark 13 and 33. Mark 13 and 33.
The book of Mark, chapter 13. I'm not there.
Hey, so what we gonna show you right here? Watch this real quick.
The book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray.
It says, take heed. All the information we just brung out, right? Take heed to it and watch in these last days. Don't be watching to mock what's going on, to throw up Instagram or YouTube, whatever kind of videos to make, oh yeah, if a black man, if they come, we're going to get in the war. Don't do that. No. Watch at these times. Watch the scriptures. Read the scriptures. See what's evident. Come on.
For ye know not when the time is.
Because you don't know when he's returning. We don't know when the last days happen, so we must watch and pray. All right?
Hey, can I get 2nd Ezra real quick? Back chapter 6 and we can start at verse 7. Just touching on what the officer brought out about this deliverance of that child being born. These things have to happen. This is how we know. Christ gave us the rundown on how shall the end of times be. And Ezra's learned about that as well. Read that.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?
How will we distinguish the differences of the times? Come on.
Or when shall be the end of the first?
The end of the what? The end of the first, meaning this world. When will be the end of it? When is the real new world order going to be instituted? Is what Edris is asking. Read.
And the beginning of it that followeth.
So that means just because you see a war brewing up, bombs getting ready, ICBMs are loaded, it's another world that's coming after that. And that world is for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Your rulership awaits this. When the smoke clears, it's for us to rule the world. But first we must repent. Read.
And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him.
So you start there. Jacob and Esau, the two nations that was born from Isaac, right? Esau being the so-called white man today, the people that you see that's brewing up. Jacob being us, the Israelites, read.
Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Our hand held on Esau's heel, read.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Why? Because when Esau's world ends, read.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
That's when we become kings and priests on this earth again. That's when we rule the world, when all this ends.
Oh, pray. Bring up the Yellow Beezy screenshot. Put that on the screen.
This is from Yellow Beezy 214. It says, all that killing y'all doing over them beats, go join the service. Your calling is finally here. You can finally prove to the fans you bout them lyrics.
Damn. So yeah, you rapping about all this killing and sliding and drilling and all that. Well, you know what the word drill come from, right? That's a military word.
Right.
Get your ass in a uniform and go legally drill.
Right.
You can use all the choppers. They supplied by the government at that point.
Right.
All the choppers, the weapons,
Legally.
the bazookas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go against the people that's trying to bomb and destroy your country.
Right. Since you got all the training, you know what I'm saying? You broadcast it on your gun and on your music.
Go turn up.
Get up. Turn up for 'em.
Yeah, if you really rep that hood, because what he used to say,
exactly.
A bomb the size of a penny can wipe out your whole damn state, let alone your hood.
Man,
think about it, right? You repping the hell out your block wherever you at. That block is an address in America. So if you willing to die for that block, that means that not only apply to the ops on the other side of town,
right?
That apply to the ops on the other side of the world.
Right, in another
they ain't trying to destroy your hood.
Right.
So what you gonna do, nigga? Hey, get Isaiah 34 verse 2. So Yellow Beezy, that's funny, but that's a trick bag. Don't fall for that. Just repent. You know what I'm saying? Because if your ass joined the Esau military, you joined the United States.
You done.
I don't think you want to do that.
They're going to put you on the front line like David.
And they've been doing that for all these wars. They do that. They throw the Negro on the front. Yeah. You played
when the
yourself.
battle is hot. I read there, Isaiah 34 and 2.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
Right, like we read in 2nd Ezra 13. He's trying to gather them up to destroy them all at once, together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To get them all in one place. To, you know what I'm saying? Demolish them all together. Read on.
And his fury upon all their armies.
What is God's fury upon?
And his fury upon all their armies.
God's fury is upon the armies of the nations. So that means his fury is on the Russian army,
right?
The Ukrainian army,
right?
The Chinese army,
right?
The Arabian army,
right?
The German army,
That's right.
The British army, the French army,
right?
And damn it, even the United States
of America.
That means the Marine Corps,
right?
Navy SEAL,
right?
Even the Air Force.
And them
but
black
I love my Air Force Base. We go bowling. We got them all. We got
right. And your Coast Guard,
Space Force.
Right. But the Lord said his fury is upon all that. So okay, you raise your right hand, you take that oath or whatever, because you just so zealous and you want to fight for your country.
Your country.
You're going to have to face the indignation of the Lord. You know, like they say in with the Jordan Peele movie, Get Out, man, get out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get out. And I know we got brothers and sisters that, you know, they in the military or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, may the force be with you. you know, you keeping the commandments, you pray, you fast. Lord's willing, you don't be deployed to where you got to go fight in that mess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The Lord, you know, he going to deliver his chosen. But for you that's not in it right now, do not get in there, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you, that's what God said. His fury is upon all their armies. Read the rest of it.
He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter.
That's future prophecy. It's going to come a time where we're going to be able to say that the Lord did that. He destroyed all their army. He delivered all of their militaries to the slaughter. So I wouldn't want to join their damn military.
Don't do
But,
it.
hey, it's all on you, buddy.
Hey, the bully, even in the movies, even in real life, the bully can only stand for so long,
Right.
Before somebody gonna knock him off real quick and humble him. That's what's gonna happen to America.
Get him, Craig.
Yep, that's why the Lord raised him up, same way he did Egypt, just to show his power. Y'all thought he was the. Okay, you thought he had all the buns.
Got him.
Wait till y'all see the real general, the real captain.
Right.
Come with the chariots, and y'all thought y'all seen the tanks and the planes with. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Wait till them chariots spin the bend. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be Sodom and Gomorrah all over again.
Hey, but all praise to the Most High. But Lord's willing, you know, y'all got some insight on that and understand where we at in prophecy.
Right.
Man, get your spirit right. It ain't for you to, like you mentioned, make social media posts and laugh and giggle and all that. This is the beginning of sorrows. That means what you see, what's coming behind it, all this money Americans sending to fund that war, that's just the first little chunk of money.
Right.
And they gotta send troops. Then troops gonna die. They gotta send more. Then they gotta send more money. The more Ukraine get their ass whooped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's finna. I'm telling you, famine, all that, man. It's finna go down. So prepare your mind. Just prepare. Period. Prepare your spirit. All right, and repent for real.
Hey.
All right. So go ahead.
I was gonna say, we know we've been talking about it during this famine about making sure they stock up certain things. It's the same thing because this is leading into the last days, y'all.
Right. So look, make sure y'all, don't go nowhere. This is Let's Talk Truth. We're gonna be back with the topic.
Celebrate, you know that we could get crazy all night, all day. I'm turning up for the one who made me, yeah. I may hasten, no hesitate to praise, for the rest of my days. And I know it's so much to let you know. My approach may come off unnatural, and I can't sit still like a vegetable. Gotta get my dancing, yeah. We got the fam getting down where we at. Yeah, Vanessa get down like that. We turning up cause it's a celebration. I'ma push beyond my limits.
Yeah. Welcome to the life of no fathers. These kids don't have the funds to go to college. Get high to lift their spirits and problems. Institution for the mentally sick. Where's our asylum? My voice is drowned out by trap niggas who touch the volume. It took time to lock in. More ups and downs than that time card we clock in. Looked at my brother screaming, what's the option? How can I provide with minimum wage? I guess the next stage is pushing crack, forced to a cell. That's where they want me at anyway. I ain't fit for a blue collar job. Sitting at desk, thinking the best place to purchase stock. How should I invest? More or less I become a statistic. It's negative, they say the black man fitted. Glorifying the evils, how can you not be Satan's children? Speaking peace to your intentions.
Shalom Israel, my name is Sister Zakaya from IUIC Cincinnati camp, and I am here because I have a special announcement for you. It is almost that time again. Passover 2022, it is right around the corner. I am excited, I hope you are too. The dates are from March 31st through April the 4th. That's March 31st through April the 4th, so make sure you mark your calendars. This year's colors, are brown and gold. And make sure you visit originalroyalty.com to get your official garments. One more thing, Israel. Registration details will be available soon. Do not neglect to register. Make haste. And remember, never give up, never give in. Shalom.
It's a so who got next? I swear I seen the ending. We look for hope as we wait for the smoke. Burning evermore, look forward to the day it approach. My brother's on the block trying to kill me. Satan on his job trying to kill me. Gotta watch out for the cops trying to
Hey. Welcome back to
Let's Talk Truth.
So now we're going to get into the topic. All right. The topic is the truth about Dreamland. That's how they say it, Dreamland. The truth about Dreamland. All right. Dreamland is referring to, it's really referring to a ballroom. Right. That was on West 9th Street or whatever. But, you know, West 9th Street is really the topic. All right. That was the epicenter of black business, black success. You know what I'm saying? Black entertainment. All of that. You know what I'm saying? That was Little Rock, Arkansas's Black Wall Street.
Right.
All right? And they had their ups and downs or whatever, but basically it came down to some ultimate crafty counsel of the white man to destroy it. It wasn't like Tulsa where they just bombed it or they were like, Oklahoma's stupid. That's going to cost too much damn money to fix. What we're going to do is we're going to invest in something and simultaneously destroy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From the east out. Hey. Woo, the depths of Satan. Y'all don't understand. All right? So we're going to start out with this article right here dealing with, because y'all got to familiarize yourself with this term. This is what they don't teach you in school. I never knew this term until I looked into West 9th Street history. This is very, very important to understand. This is a major component of systematic oppression.
Facts.
And white supremacy. Urban renewal. Let's get that article.
I tell you something real quick as we get it. That urban renewal thing, same situation. Growing up in an area where, you know, we went to white schools. They mention this, but only in the sense of, you know, the blanket that they put over it. Urban renewal, they named it that way on purpose. It sounds like they're doing something for blacks.
Urban renewal is black removal.
Exactly.
Negro removal. That's what it means.
Because they say it's to make, you know, dirty areas look good and this and that. The lie that's behind it. We learn about it. We do, but not the truth behind it.
Yep.
Urban renewal. Urban renewal is the generic term given to the redevelopment of land in urban areas. In the United States, it is largely associated with post-World War II federal housing policy stemming from the passage of the Federal Housing Act of 1949. Though ostensibly designed to beautify cities by getting rid of old and decrepit housing stock and replacing it with new and modern homes, these projects typically had a racial component.
Stop. And notice to say the racial component, right? Because in the case of West 9th Street, and then we're going to show it on the documentary, but Lord's willing we get to it, basically, it wasn't no rundown area.
Right.
You had probably 2 houses on the block that was run down. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an old and decrepit neighborhood at all.
Right.
It was solely to destroy a successful black area. They were just hating, period.
It was blighted.
They were just hating, period. It was racist. Go ahead.
This has led to accusations that urban renewal programs consciously manipulated residential areas to establish, perpetuate, and or extend geographical racial segregation in city neighborhoods.
So basically, okay, the president and all these amendments and all that, they want to desegregate. Well, guess what we gonna do?
Segregate.
We got the power, and this what black people need to understand. Black people so damn stupid.
Facts.
They be like, we can vote our way into this, and we can do this and do that, and listen. It's by black people saying that, you basically saying we could just take over the world. Because it's always going to be something above you to stop you, to limit you, you know what I'm saying, pull strings in another direction.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we can vote ourselves in the legislature. During this time, during this history, we had the most black legislature.
Right. Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, we learned about that when we went with Bishop.
Yeah.
And we was wondering where these black faces coming from.
Exactly.
Right. We had the most black legislatures
the
really
courthouse.
in the US, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Yes.
Next to like one of the Carolinas.
Yeah. So it's crazy. But basically, with this situation right here with urban renewal, they showing that you can never overcome white supremacy. This is their country. They do what the hell they want to do.
Facts.
Exactly.
You can stand up in your neighborhood. You can make it harder on them to where they got to level all the way up.
Right.
But that's exactly what they did. They leveled all the way up with the federal government. It was basically like a deal.
Yep.
Like, because you know how it was with the Little Rock 9, the Central High stuff. They was bucking against the president. Like, we ain't letting them niggas in our damn school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had to send a National Guard and all that. So America had to be like, all right, Kansas, what can we do for you to be able to, because y'all can't be the only people that don't, get down with the get down now.
Right.
Come on, let's work something out. All right, so I was like, all right, we need millions of dollars to reconstruct the city of Little Rock to where we make it to where it's still segregated, even though the law is for it to be desegregated.
Hey, officer, that show you these folks. The Lord really gave these folks some power, bro.
Facts.
Because they can literally just wake up one day and say, you know where we at right now? This is no longer zoned for a church school of learning.
A lot of this is stuff that we learn in real estate school, and just in net history alone. I'm really slipping, y'all, to be a realtor and to have not done a topic just dealing with the systematic racism in real estate.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, bruh, it's so much history dealing with that, bruh. They manipulate that. They manipulate real estate so much to push a racist agenda, but it's crazy. It's crazy to this day. To this day.
Facts.
If you don't believe it, you live it. You're living it. You don't even realize it.
Facts.
Look outside.
Facts. Go ahead.
As Little Rock, Pulaski County, is Arkansas's largest urban area, its experience of urban renewal typifies the experience of many other urban areas in the South and also in the nation, though it was by no means the only city in Arkansas to experience urban renewal. Little Rock's housing patterns did not always look the way they do today. From its earliest days, the city developed a reputation for having a more progressive racial climate than surrounding areas. The scarcity of labor in the pre-Civil War period meant that skilled black slaves were in demand and could bargain for better terms of employment and for more freedoms. Some were allowed to hire out their labor and keep a portion of their wages, and some even purchased their own living quarters.
So basically, in better terms or whatever, like in contrary to Mississippi and places like that,
right.
Little Rock, black people had a better situation to come here. It was more open. It was more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of black people flocked to Little Rock. For real. Like how a lot of black people fled Mississippi to go to Chicago and all that.
Right.
People was coming to Little Rock like that from these other places. Go ahead.
It said like I think at the beginning of the documentary, like 50% of the black folks that was in Little Rock came from other places.
Yeah.
Hey,
Over
these are facts. My grandparents come from Mississippi and Louisiana and all.
Yeah.
As a result, even during slavery, racially mixed housing patterns in the city were established. In Little Rock, unlike in many other cities, there were no laws to prohibit blacks and whites living in the same area. As the city grew, however, discernibly, black residential areas began to develop just off West 9th Street's downtown black business district and toward the east of the city. This was due largely to economic constraints, the location of black institutions and businesses, and the practicalities of finding security in numbers. Yet there were also many pepper and salt, that is, mixed black and white neighborhoods, as late as 1941. A study sponsored by the Greater Little Rock Urban League noted, while Negroes predominate in certain areas, in certain sections, in Little Rock, there are no widespread Negro sections of residence.
Right. So Little Rock was so intermingled that there was no really dominant, super dominant area of black people. It was a lot of salt and pepper neighborhoods, meaning we was on the same level as a lot of them. They don't want to tell you that though.
Right.
They don't want to just put it like that. But we came from being slaves. Our skills got us to where we was being able to live in these same neighborhoods.
Right.
Making the same amount of income, the same level of success.
Right.
Basically, that's what it's saying. Go ahead.
The passage of the Federal Housing Act of 1949 changed that. The act, designed to modernize cities in the post-World War II era, was used by Little Rock to begin a racial redistricting of the city. My apologies. It initially held out the promise of better conditions for Little Rock's black population by eradicating poor housing and replacing it with new public housing units.
Stop. So I want y'all to, and this is what's mind-boggling, right? Because the pitch or the way that they made it seem like what we know as projects today, it was basically they was pitching it like this is a level up. Like, look, you got this large area where the grass is cut and it's y'all are together and you got appliances and it's neighborhood. It's you can call your own. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, okay, a housing authority. It was like pitch like a resort. Right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, we finna throw y'all niggas in the pot.
Right.
Like how we know the projects today, that wasn't how it was pitched.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, look, y'all get to, we're gonna give y'all this.
We're gonna be together.
Like y'all little luxury little
section.
area.
You know how y'all do.
For real. And it's crazy because they're like, you ain't from the slum like the slum, unless you from the project. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the project, nigga. I'm from the bottom rats and roaches. Nigga, we had to eat, dirt. Go ahead.
But white city planners had other ideas. Their focus was less on improving the conditions of the black community and more on using funds to perpetuate and even extend segregation in the city.
Right, because black people didn't need their communities to be improved.
Right.
It wasn't bad. So it was basically just to put them in concentrated areas, primarily far east and south from the central part of the city. You know what I'm saying? Because basically we was the face of Little Rock. We was right in the area where people. We was the city.
Right.
We gotta move these niggas out south and out east. You know what I'm saying? And them two areas, the main areas of the city that's violent, that's gang banging, that's killing each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The south and the east. And the reason why y'all ended up there was because y'all ancestors had it going on. Really, I don't even want to say ancestors, like your granddaddy and them. Your great-grandpa.
It's not ancient.
For real.
Right.
Read them.
B. Finley Vinson, head of the Little Rock Housing Authority and its slum clearance and urban redevelopment director.
You gotta think about like the people that's still alive, like your great grandparents and stuff like that was alive during this time. Like I know they like shaking their head, like just how the whole project thing turned out. Like they remember when black people was fooled into thinking it was a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just to see how it turned out, how it became drug infested, gang infested. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, some of them, they gone.
And they gotta be crazy, but where they at? Like, why they not talking? Why they? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? I'm telling you, a lot of what was coupled with this crafty council was the instillment of fear.
It
like you said, officer, like the lynching, they not telling half. They not telling a percentage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of all of the things they did. just even with the Little Rock 9 thing alone, with the school system.
Right.
They did a lot of violence towards our people to instill fear in us to where we don't want to speak out and say what really went on. That's why you never heard nobody talk about this.
Right.
For real.
Man, it was one guy I met when I was working at this paint store, and he was actually in this era. He's an old guy, and he talked about this, but he never mentioned like the 9th Street stuff. He just mentioned the Dreamland place that we're gonna get into. He mentioned like, man, this used to be the spot where everybody show up, and I'm like, dang. Then I had another old guy that was with him talking. He was from a different decade.
Sound like you knew the dude that was like right here, right there.
Right. It was like there was an old guy, but it wasn't like he was willingly telling that stuff, because I was just asking questions. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna teach everybody this real history, this black history of us. It was like, damn, I had to go and insert myself into this.
Yeah.
These old, they don't want to say it because it was like it was fear put into them. Like, hey,
exactly. All right,
so
you
they sit
niggas,
back,
y'all ball out if y'all want to. Watch
Right.
what we do to you.
They connecting government checks, so he
want to
ain't-
think
I
y'all
ain't
better
saying
than us. Like it's all jealousy, hatred.
It is. Oh yeah, I want to bring out that because
Man.
think about this, man. We making the same amount of money they making or whatever, but then we go have fun.
Right.
They is like, damn, I'm
That's in the
stressed out.
documentary too. The dude said, the Edomites, it was like slick. It was like, I don't even think white people had something like that going on.
Right.
Like they
hate
so
us.
saltless, bro.
Bro, that's what I wanted to bring out. Man, give me that scripture real quick. Give me the salt. Because this is the point I want to bring out. Think about it. We the salt of the earth, but they were so salty against us, they had to blow this stuff away. They had to move us out of here.
Damn, saltine crackers.
Right. They got the wrong kind of flavor. Hey, read that.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13.
Come on.
Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt have lost his savor, wherewith shall it be salted?
Right. Think about it. We kind of lost our, when they did that, they like, okay, let's push these dudes out. Let's push the whole community away from this area where it's booming. Look, this is the Black Wall Street. Let's push them away from that. Let's take their salt from them. Come on.
It is thenceforth good for nothing.
And then that's what they do. Keep going.
But to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men.
Right. And this is what had been placed upon us. We was trodden under the foot of men. That salt was stripped from us. We was cast out. They knew these brothers, they smooth with it. They coming over here, they booming. This whole block is theirs. We got to change this.
Right.
I want to
And
say
now
this
we
too.
gangbangers.
I want to say this too, because the reason, the ultimate reason in a spiritual sense, and why the Lord allowed this to happen, because with our prosperous, successful area, we was doing a lot of damn wickedness. A lot of whoredom, a lot of fornication. Same thing with Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? We hate to talk about it. We like to highlight the success.
Right.
But it's a divine reason why the Lord allowed it to be destroyed. You know what I'm saying?
We got to think
Yeah,
about
what
it.
it is.
Hey, all praises.
Keep reading.
B. Finley Vinson, head of the Little Rock Housing Authority and its slum clearance and urban redevelopment director, freely admitted that the city of Little Rock, through its various agencies, including the Housing Authority, systematically worked to continue segregation. The intent of city planners to use federal housing policy as an instrument for achieving residential segregation was evident when black areas of residents were seemingly targeted for redevelopment because of their close proximity to white neighborhoods rather than their slum status.
Redevelopment is only supposed to be when a neighborhood is run down, when it's decaying. It had nothing to do with decadence at all.
Right.
It was just, them niggas, they too close. It's salt and pepper.
Hey, this is interesting because, and you said you wanted to get into something about the black real estate and all that. You know Panky, right? The Panky development was Panky is in West Little Rock. This is a black developed, community from a black woman and her husband.
About on Cantrell.
On Cantrell.
Yeah.
And this was like years before this, right? So think about it. They see this black woman developing over here in this rural area, because back then it was rural, right? So rural area. So okay, let's put them over here. She started making rural, excuse me. And she started making all these nice houses, this and that. So what they do, they say, these niggas getting too successful. We can't have another one of her developing in an area that we want to cultivate ourselves.
Right.
So what they do is push us to the side. They move us away, and then they smack that. I think we probably gonna get it. Then they drop something dead in the middle of us to separate us. This is crazy, man. We seeing it right here. The beginnings.
For instance, the first part of the city designated as a blighted area for demolition and clearance was a 10-block area of homes at the heart of the downtown Little Rock black community in the Dunbar neighborhood. Blacks viewed the area, resident Lola S. Duthard said, as the choicest area of the Negro residential section. It contains many churches, schools, completely modern homes, paved, paid-out streets, and it is within easy walking distance to the business section of the city. Duthard alleged that coercion and intimidation
bullying
were used by the LRHA to force black residents to sell their properties in the area. The LRHA threatened the owners by telling them if they did not sell at the appraised price, they would be ordered in court and given less or evicted from their homes.
Y'all see that? This is not the 1700s.
It's not.
This was like one lifespan ago.
That's why
people that's still alive right now that was victims of this.
Right.
Yes.
This is extremely evil. They never repaid you for that. What are reparations at for that?
And you can't make it
knowing that they force people out of their community. Threaten them to sell their property for way lower than what it's worth.
And it says
what have they given us for this? This man, they owe us the world, man. These people gotta die.
They gotta die.
These people gotta die.
They gotta go.
I hope y'all, let's talk truth.
Hey, real quick. You get that, but real quick. Think about it. It says 10-block area. That's not small. That's a large area where they just say, hey, these niggas gotta go.
Right.
And then they say they're gonna put us in a nice area. Now look at the places now. And the same thing they did right here, they doing it again. It's called what they call that when they come take all these old houses and refurbish them. Gentrification, yeah. That's what they doing right now. And these are the same, this is the same neighborhood. This is the same neighborhood. Go ahead, officer.
Can I get a real quick scripture? Isaiah chapter 5, verse 8. The Most High prophesied what we reading right here. And like he said, the officer said, they gotta die. I'm sorry. Okay, all praises. Go ahead, read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 8.
Come on, read it out.
Woe unto them that join house to house.
Woe unto them that do what?
That join house to house.
That's what the white man did. Read on.
That lay field to field. Till there be no place. That they may be placed alone.
Placed where?
Placed alone.
Placed alone. That's what they did to the brothers that they had upper echelon. They were living. They was doing good for themselves. They placed them alone. And now they can't even fend for themselves because the white man is the devil. Right. But the Lord says destruction go be to that nation. That's all I got.
Back to the article.
All right, let me find it. I lost it. Let's see here. For instance, the first part of the city designated as a blighted area for demolition and clearance was a 10-block area of homes at the heart of the downtown Little Rock black community. Actually, I think I'm back down here. Yeah.
Nah, we go to the next paragraph.
Right.
Scroll down.
While the LRHA evicted black residents downtown, it built black public housing on the edge of the city limits as far away from white neighborhoods as possible.
You can't make it up, man.
The edge of the city limits.
Right.
Southeast, the east end.
Where the interstate
end.
Meets with 630
The
and
south
I-30.
end.
The damn end of the south end.
Now it's the damn southwest.
Right.
It's always the edge of the city, bro. Go ahead.
The first public housing projects built under the redevelopment plans were the 400 units of Joseph A. Booker homes in the far southeastern city limits.
Granite Mountain, basically. That
Right.
was the first one. And they wild as hell now. Go ahead.
Other housing projects followed a similar pattern. By 1990, the major public housing projects of the 1950s had 99% black occupancy.
Damn.
predominantly white areas had only 5% of the city's public housing units, and there were none at all in the far west of the city.
Right, Cantrell, Chanel, all that. Nope.
Given this residential gerrymandering, it is hardly surprising that Little Rock's first response to the Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas school desegregation decision was to build 2 new geographically segregated high schools in the city.
So they gonna touch on this in the documentary. And I don't want to read all this when we don't got the time. All right, but scroll down. A lot of this we gonna hit in the documentary. Scroll down. Damn. All of this stuff is good stuff.
Yep.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
Wait.
Let's read. Scroll up. Come on, now. All right. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit.
Go up a little bit.
All right, let's read it where it say 1971.
In 1971, when busing threatened, that's just busing, right?
Yeah.
When busing threatened to overturn the effects of residential segregation by forcing cross-city transportation of students to ensure integrated public schools, Little Rock witnessed a sprouting of new private schools.
That's why Hall High School is now black. That was originally a white school.
Right.
Intentionally. They built it way on the west end, and they had horsemen way on the east end.
Right.
But when they saw that the busing system was carrying, you know what I'm saying? They were like, man, to hell with public schools. We gonna Episcopal,
Yeah, we gonna have a
Little Rock
Catholic,
Christian.
Little Rock Catholic.
You know what I'm saying?
Look, literally down
Pulaski
Down the
University.
street. Yes.
Pulaski Heights, right there.
That's why all the public schools now is predominantly black. They said to hell with the public schools. These niggas buses.
Hey, officer, I don't think when you say
Niggers and
predominantly,
buses.
I don't think y'all understand. Hall High School is what, 2% white.
Yes.
And I'm saying this is 100% out of 100%. The rest of the 98 is blacks and Hispanics.
And
literally.
where is it at?
Midtown, right by the mall,
In
where
the
all the
white
white people
neighborhood.
live.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the
wealthy,
blacks and
right there.
Hispanics come from the other side of damn Little Rock.
You can't make it up.
Their locations once again largely mirrored the city's segregated housing patterns. Since the 1950s, Little Rock's policy of urban renewal, alongside other factors, had created a more residentially segregated city. The other factors is partially killing. In the 21st century, 2 halves define the city. One to the east of the Interstate 30 and the south of Interstate 630 is predominantly black, Latino, and poor. The other
south side and the east side.
Right there.
It's predominantly black, Hispanic, and poor. And now southwest. That's still considered east of I-30, right? South of,
Right,
same thing. Southwest, the east, and the south. That's the black and Hispanic area, the poor area. Read on.
The other, to the west of Interstate 430 and to the north of Interstate 630, is predominantly white and more affluent.
Right, that Interstate, I'm telling you, that 630, that thing is the damn devil.
It's the devil.
Facts.
And if you travel down 630 right now, you get off any exit to the right side, is white power.
Facts.
If you get off on the exit and you go left,
Nigga town.
you in the hood.
Nigga
Facts.
I'm saying it's obvious.
and you see
It's
it.
2 different worlds. Just based off 630 alone, Little Rock is 2 different
Bro, that's
worlds.
crazy,
Hey.
bro. That's crazy.
For real.
And the crazy thing about this, or even more crazy, is that they ain't over. But what they doing now? They got big mansions on the other side. You talk about what this, and they taking it over. They revamping everything. They building apartments. And they pushing niggas
It's gonna be continued
to
because,
Southwest.
and it's gonna be continued because if you think about the schools like Hall and Southwest Academy and all that, they gonna make sure them kids have very few resources.
Yep.
And they gonna make sure the private schools get everything. And it's gonna continue. Them kids gonna live on this side, and our kids gonna live on the other side.
Although some would insist,
we can drop this. All right, let's go ahead and go to the documentary. We shot on time.
That's crazy. Show you the power that these pale faces got. They even reconstructing schools and the whole nine, man. After everything they already done did, it's crazy.
Yep,
man.
upstairs. Yep.
All praises.
All praises.
That's cool. We just, it's them talking. We,
Hey, let's go and get that video.
Can we press play, please? All praise.
Ladies and gentlemen, including the people like myself, we want to thank you for coming to the Dreamland Ballroom. We want you to come back tonight, tomorrow night, and from now on, we want to have fun here at the Dreamland Ballroom, here in the Lowlands. Thank you.
People would come from miles around to come to 9th Street just to see what it was like.
I'm saying this was the Mecca of entertainment in the South.
I want to blow the roof off of this sucker. Oh, yeah.
We thought we was on top of the world then, man. You couldn't tell us nothing.
It was home. It was everything you would wish for. I mean, all the top bands came through here.
They would come here. This was the place to come. It was 9th Street.
I want you to rock me, baby.
This is something that belongs to us. This is our place.
It was a wide open community. Some said too wide open.
I want you to rock me and me.
They did what they wanted to do to destroy a black community.
9th Street became nothing. No buildings on it. All the businesses were gone.
I can't see that there isn't some intent when it happened everywhere.
Oh, yeah!
Y'all see, we bringing out the history of Dreamland for the.
They said we thought we was on top of the world.
Hey.
On top of the world. That's crazy. Go ahead.
To understand the whole story, you have to understand the birth of this street. This was an African-American community. West 9th Street was for 100 years. This was the heart of not only Little Rock's African-American community, this was the capital city, I guess you could say, of the African-American communities in Arkansas. This was a community that was born out of emancipation. This area was originally a federal encampment where emancipated slaves came. They flocked here.
The Union Army occupied Little Rock on September 10th, 1863. And when that happened, thousands of blacks started to pour into Little Rock.
In fact, a lot of Southern plantation owners were so mad, they loaded up their slaves and they just drove them to Little Rock in their wagons and dumped them off. And they might have a little bundle of maybe some food and maybe a few belongings, but that's it.
They're liberating themselves. They're liberating themselves with their feet. They know Union troops are nearby. They know slavery never worked for them, so they're going to these places where they can begin to make sense out of life and to begin to live life as freed people.
The U.S. military commanders were sort of overwhelmed. They didn't really know what to do. Suddenly, they had to provide housing and care for all these, at the time they were referred to as refugees.
They created a temporary little shanty town, and it consisted of tents and shacks, and this is where they put the former slaves.
Blissville basically became the core for the early black commercial district. It was established really just west of where Mount Holly Cemetery is, right in close proximity to 9th Street. Something new was happening in Arkansas in terms of just societal change.
The Republicans gained control, passed a new constitution, which meant that African Americans now, for the first time, African American males, of course, would be able to vote. It comes as a surprise to a lot of people, but there were 20 African Americans in the Arkansas legislature. 16 of them were in the House, and there were 4 senators. Of course, we've never had that many African Americans in the Arkansas legislature since then.
Think about that.
For the first time in history.
Think about that, because people be trying to throw it out there like, this ain't the 1800s, and That was way back then. Times is different now. When we was segregated, times was better.
Right.
We had more power. We had more community leaders. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We had double digits of black people in legislature at the same damn time.
At the same
Hey,
time.
I'm gonna tell you
We don't
something.
got nothing like that now.
Hey,
It was something that we just covered, and I can't remember exactly, but I mentioned earlier about the Carolinas. I guarantee the reason why, like that paleface said, the red man, he said we had 20 plus black legislatures, and we've never had that many since. In the Carolinas, they had the most, if I'm not mistaken. They were lynching them in the streets. They were killing them. If you were a politician and you was black, they were murdering you. I'm talking about thousands of people. They were murdering black people for being in legislature. So we need to do a damn truth about black legislation. And I bet that's what it's going to be.
Hey,
That's why we didn't have that many anymore.
Hey, that's interesting too. Think about this. So at that time when we didn't really have nothing, we had the most of our people in the legislative, right? So think about it now though. All this Black Lives Matter, pro-black stuff.
You bamboozled. They gave you, okay, you can get that the nice house, the nice car, whatever, but you have no power.
You have no power now.
That's democracy. That's the
We can
difference
take it
between the
when we want.
Democrats and the Republicans.
Right.
The Republicans, yeah, they openly hate you or whatever they want to be away from you, but you can do your damn thing.
Right.
Because they just worried about the money. The Democrats is strictly white supremacy, but they crafty how they go about it.
Hey, it's
through the Democratic Party, through democracy, that's how we have no power at all in this society. But you can get your little shine on.
Right. You can vote Joe Biden. Damn. Hey, go ahead and play.
Of Arkansas, we had a new kind of type of African American living here, a black urban middle class.
You're talking about people who understand very well that they have to be self-sufficient, that they have to be self-contained. We're also talking about people who are very intelligent. They understand well the times in which they live and the things that they need to do in order to survive. And also, when we're talking about people who may have been formerly enslaved, that doesn't mean everybody was in the field picking cotton. Some of these people had skills.
The 1870s and 1880s, businesses were being established, especially from Broadway, which was kind of anchored the east end of the West 9th Street Business District, all the way down to Ringo Street. And in that kind of 6-block area, majority were operated by African Americans.
Pause it. This is how you know the white man is the devil.
Right.
Right? It said that 9th Street went from the I area where, we had it at. Went from Broadway, extended from Broadway to Ringo Street. If you pull up a map, I-630 cut off 9th Street at Zerah Street, right in front of Chester. Ringo is 2 blocks on the other side of Chester Street.
It's right
they
there.
literally put the damn freeway, the bridge, literally cutting off West 9th Street.
Facts.
The Little Rock, Black Wall Street, they built the freeway to cut it off.
I was going to say they did the same thing in Black Wall Street.
Yeah.
The damn interpass that they were telling us
Telling you,
about.
bro,
while we
y'all
was out
got to
there.
understand, they are the inward thought of every one of them.
Right.
All
is
of them.
deep.
Damn devil. It's the map right here. The old map.
By 1890, actually 1/6 of the white population of Little Rock was foreign born. Over half of the people living in the city of Little Rock had been born in northern states. And I think this in itself was important insofar as race relations were concerned, because it did mean you had a more cosmopolitan racial mix.
A lot of people left other areas of the South to come to Arkansas and to places like Little Rock because they did think it was more progressive and more moderate. I think they understand that they have to deal with racism, but not to the extent maybe they'd have to in Mississippi or Alabama.
Little Rock was considered for a time to be more tolerant of the races. Over time, that will change. When former Confederates were pardoned, they quickly swept all of the different elections, almost all of the positions of authority in the South. And so they gained control of the South again. They couldn't take away their freedom that was given.
Go back.
Yeah, because
Go back to that image. They was hating, man.
Just start right there, yeah.
The different elections, almost all of the positions of authority in the South.
Pause it. Notice you see on the left side, you got the Democratic platform. It said that it's for the white man. And you got the Republican platform. To the right, it says it's for the Negro. Through media, propaganda, you think right now, yo nigga ass at the house on the couch, you thought it was the other way around. Obama, Democrat, Hillary. No, the Democratic Party is for the white man. That's why Biden got in office and black folks catching hell. Black people was doing good under Trump. You know what I'm saying? But no, he racist. He is. And then the crafty Joe Biden get in with the so-called black woman as his running mate. And guess what? Black people catching hell.
You played yourself.
You played yourself.
Hey, it's because like we said earlier in a different context, it's because the Republicans about that bread. And the bread opens up opportunities for whatever color you might be.
Right.
But dumb Negroes don't understand that. That's what it is. That's why like I didn't know about the insurance with the taxes. He was like, Trump got rid of all that. I said, damn,
that's why Donald Trump kept saying, make America great again. He was trying to go back to this.
Hey, and another thing you see, you see what they do in office, like they put like Kamala Harris, right? Well, who is she with? You know what I'm saying? Who is she united with? Edomite, her husband, her white husband. Joe Biden just put another, a black judge that they elected. They said he was trying to elect a black judge. Okay, he elected her. Guess who is she united with? A white man.
Bishop Nathaniel always say, you show me who you lay in the bed with that night, I'll show you what race your allegiance is to.
Right.
Exactly.
They black, but they laying in the bed with a white person every night. They white.
Damn.
They black on the outside, but they white.
Oh, yeah.
And so they gained control of the South again. They couldn't take away their freedom that was given with the 13th Amendment, but they could circumvent. Jim Crow laws made that pretty apparent.
Right.
Say, I have an idea. Yes. You'll be around here about a half hour before the show. You mean you're gonna let me watch up close? Jim Crow, you'll practically be right on the stage. Woo!
Jim Crow was a minstrel character that was performed by a guy named Thomas Daddy Rice. And this caricature came around, I think, in about the 1830s, somewhere in there.
Wheel about and turn about and do just so. Every time I wheel about, I jump Jim Crow.
And minstrel characters, these are people who would perform in blackface, and they would perform in ways that stereotyped and stigmatized African Americans. Later on, the term was co-opted to mean racial segregation. It meant that increasingly the black community found itself isolated, found itself being increasingly controlled.
And once the state had established its official cachet of authority to this practice of separating the races, then the practice started to spread much more in the private sector as well.
All right, next time stamp.
This was the grand temple and tabernacle of the Knights and Daughters of Tabor. It was black built and paid for with contributions from Arkansans, from chapters all over Arkansas. And it wasn't cheap. It was $65,000 when that was a lot of money. The late teens and early 20s, this was a golden era for African American development. You know, they even had the label in Little Rock, the prosperous race. They were doing really well.
Damn!
Wow, wow.
There were every kind of business imaginable was operating. You had confectioners, you would have barber shops, You would have stable yards. You name it, almost any kind of business you can imagine would be operating here along West 9th Street.
And all the local people called it the line because the line was the boundary between black and white societies in Little Rock.
We have been ruled by race in Arkansas. Whites sought to dominate and control African Americans through really a retelling of our history in a way that justified and rationalized white supremacy.
Y'all understand what this man just said?
Then
Play it again, bruh. Play it again.
Little raccoon face.
We have been ruled by race in Arkansas. Whites sought to dominate and control African Americans through really a retelling of our history in a way that justified and rationalized white supremacy.
To dominate black Americans through the retelling of their history. Do y'all understand? You know they say it all the time. You don't know where you come from if you don't know. You don't know where you're going if you don't know where you come from.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So with them retelling your history, you thinking that we were slaves, and then we had to fight to get into public schools, and now hey, we banging in Little Rock. You don't know. Black people, you know what I'm saying? We were so successful, we made the white man jealous. They had to reconstruct the whole city to make it to where we didn't prosper above them because we so much more talented. We so much more turned up. Because you know what happens when you got that entertainment district? People come from all over the world. They spend money.
Right.
So just from us being more skilled and talented in entertainment alone,
right,
what caused us to prosper above them in their own city. That's why we don't got, you wonder, man, Little Rock ain't got nothing. We got Little Trois.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever that is.
We don't got nothing. We don't got no type of entertainment district. We don't got no market for like Atlanta and we don't got none of that in Little Rock. That's why, because these crackers here, they got way too jealous.
He just let you know, like he let you know right now, this is why Dreamland is not getting taught in your school. Because we were telling you your history the way we want to tell it.
And we ain't going to let Little Rock turn into no damn Atlanta.
Right.
Because that's what is perfectly capable of happening.
Facts.
Right. You put us in one concentrated area with the entertainment and the businesses and all, it's going to jump. All the money bruh. We going to prosper above. We going to take over the city.
That's right. Can I get a script? Let me get a script real quick. Can I get Exodus 1-9? Exodus 1-9. Because this is the mindset that your so-called white man have of today. You know what I'm saying? This is what they did to our people because you said, like, they jealous of our people. They was like, okay, you know what? Hold on, wait. We don't want these Negroes raising up above us. Read what you got. Exodus chapter 1 and verse 9.
The book of Exodus chapter 1 and verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
So that's what they said. The children of Israel, these so-called African Americans, they up here making more money than we are. They looking mightier than we are. They living right next to us, salt and pepper. Read.
Come on, let us deal wisely with them.
So you know what we gonna do? We gonna deal wisely with these Negroes. We gonna make sure we gonna cut off all their money. Hey, you know what? We gonna put the highway split them apart, separate them, give them housing over here, and guess what? We gonna populate our areas and put nice business in our areas and take sufficient and get all the money of the city. That's what they did. Read on.
Lest they multiply.
So that way they won't multiply and make more money. That way, when they multiply, guess what? They gonna die. They gonna multiply, they gonna be gangbanging. They gonna multiply, they gonna get drugs. Read.
And it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies.
So they didn't want that. They didn't want to risk it. You know what? We don't want them to multiply. We don't want to give them the opportunity to join with our enemies. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and cut them off from being a nation. We're going to make sure we're going to separate them. We're going to put drugs in their community. These are the things that they did to our people. And they made sure that the history of 9th Street of Dreamland was not going to be told. But guess what? The truth is coming out now.
Yeah, that's heavy what you brought out, because that's why the Bible say this is spiritual Egypt. It's the same mentality. Damn, they doing too much. They talented, they multiplying, enslaved. While we over them, they rising above. Like, what the hell? Like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like watching popcorn blow up in the microwave. Like, what the hell? They supposed to be suffering. They ass just blowing up, expanding. Now we got to stop this. With our belly, what do you say? I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit.
Dang. Yeah, let's go.
Increasingly, as we get up to the World War I years, there are African Americans who are questioning, what is democracy? What does all of this mean? Should African Americans stand behind the war effort? Should African Americans go fight overseas? You know, how are you going to ask people to go abroad and fight for that cause when it's not happening here in the United States? But a lot of African Americans do go serve.
After the First World War, African Americans came back to Arkansas expecting there to be some changes in the way they were treated.
We see the rise of the KKK in Arkansas that had reinvented itself as being moral Protestants that are upholding family values.
Racial tensions are at an all-time high at this point because people are emboldened. They're saying, I have fought for this nation. Now, will this nation be all that it says it is? And again, some people are saying, well, I don't care what you fought for, and I don't care what this nation is supposed to be. You're black. You're at the bottom of the racial hierarchy.
So, bruh, black people fell for the damn okie doke. Hey, get Lamentations 4:17. So we thought we developed an entitlement. We went to war. We put our life on the line for these folks. We thinking we gonna come back. All right, look, people. We earned the right to be respected now. And the white man said, nigga, I don't give a good. You went to war, shot a little shotgun or freaking rifle. You think you're somebody now, nigga? Hell no, nigga.
Right.
For real, then black people still got that mentality to this day. They think they just step out of bounds for the white man, that they gonna get some type of gold medal. That ain't how it work.
You dumb.
That ain't how it work. They looking at you like, yeah, thanks, unprofitable servant. You know what I'm saying? Stupid
Obey your
ass.
master head.
Blake, read that.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17.
Come on.
As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help.
Right, so we thinking we coming back like we got expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we gonna come back. They gonna respect us now. You know what I'm saying? Our eyes failed us. You didn't see that when you came back. You saw something totally different. Go ahead.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save
You
us.
watched for a nation that hated your guts. You anticipating a nation to help you out and look out for you and return some type of favor to you. But no, they don't want no dealings with you. You fell for the okie doke. You was gonna say something?
Yeah, hey, get that in Deuteronomy 28 real quick. It's the same thing. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 33. Because we know, just like with our Native American brothers, they came over here, took everything, did the same thing to us. Took whatever we build, they take. Why? Because God said when we break his commandments, he's going to be against us. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors.
Everything that you Israelites work for. Read.
Shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
This strange nation is going to eat it up. They're going to take it. They're going to ravish it. They're going to destroy it and make sure you got nothing left. Read.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
That's what you're going to be crushed. You're going to be oppressed. That's what's going to happen. But you still seeking to that land for refuge, or what we read in Lamentations 4. You looking for them to save you when God said you're gonna be crushed here until you repent. That's just what it is. It's prophecy.
All right, play. Keep playing.
Hierarchy. One of the ways they reinforce that is by killing people.
Yep, here we go.
In 1927, in May, there was this child named Floella McDonald.
It's always a white girl.
Her body was found in the bell tower of the First Presbyterian Church. Eventually, Lonnie Dixon was charged with the murder. He was able to be gotten out of Little Rock in the rumble seat of a student.
So Lonnie Dixon was what you would call a mulatto. He was a light-skinned Negro. He had some Edomite blood. I don't know which side it was. But he was classified as a black person. But he fled. You know what I'm saying? It didn't say that they found him guilty, but he was charged with the murder. So he got on down, right? Go ahead.
Baker and sent thousands of people into just a frenzy. The people in Little Rock needed to find somebody to take revenge on.
Pause. Do y'all notice the wordage? The people of Little Rock needed somebody. No, the hell they didn't. What the hell? They thought they needed. They did not need. Basically, he's saying somebody was gonna get it. Somebody had to get it. No, the person that was guilty had to get it. No, get that in Exodus 23, man. About the innocent blood. I think it's verse 7. I'm telling you, bro, they the damn devil. Exodus 23 and verse 7. Yep.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter. And the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
What did God say?
And the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
That's a law. You not supposed to slay the innocent. It don't matter what the hell you got built up, pent up aggression, and you mad at. No, you don't take it out on an innocent soul. That is not justified. They didn't need to find somebody innocent to take it out on a person that's actually guilty that they can't find. No, you got to find a person that's guilty. Or get over it. Bro, they the damn devil, bro. Keep playing.
What happened to John Carter was that he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was alleged to have attacked 2 white women.
A white posse chased down Carter. They found him in the woods.
So they beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him.
Strung him up and forced him to jump off a car.
They hung his body from a telephone pole, used his body as target practice.
Tied him behind a truck and drug him down from Broadway to Chester and back.
The very center of black life in Little Rock.
So all our people were seeing this.
There used to sit a big, beautiful church. The church was called Bethel. They broke into Bethel and got some pews, and they built this big barn fire in the middle of 9th Street. Then they took John Carter's body, placed it in the fire.
At one point, somebody dragged his arm off and directed traffic with it that night. The amount of intimidation that this caused in the African American community was enormous, and we still don't know how many African Americans left Little Rock as a result.
Pause. Go back like 10 seconds. Hey, get Deuteronomy 28:26. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 26.
Where's the justice of that?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air.
So God said for the disobedience of the Israelites, that's one of the curses that will come upon you. Your dead body shall be meat to the fowls of the air. Meaning what? You'll be hung. You'll be slain in public to what you'll become harvest meat for birds.
Right.
Go ahead.
And unto the beast of the earth, and no man shall fray them away.
And no man shall fray you away. They're going to let your ass hang. They're gonna use you for a showcase, an example. Like, all right, you niggers, y'all want to play with white girls. All right, nigger. Yep. I'm telling you, that's prophecy. That's why we was hung. That's why we was lynched. Because we the Israelites. That's one of the curses that will befall the children of Israel. All right, now play that again, what he said. Watch this.
The amount of intimidation that this caused in the African American community was enormous, and we still don't know how many African Americans left Little Rock as a result of what happened that night in 1927.
So here you have it, pause. Here you have it. All of these people coming from everywhere to come to Little Rock, could they see that's where black people can prosper.
Right.
And then the white man go do this. They said, oh no, we getting out of Dodge. We gonna go to Texas or something. You know what I'm saying?
Sheesh.
And a lot of them black folks that was there left. So you already know that helped cripple the economy right there. All the black, half of the business leaving. Because they scared now. Keep going.
Our label of being tolerant kind of went away by that period of time. Yeah.
See right here? Chatty Two right here. Chatty Two right here. See that? It's a building right there. See it? Right in that front door. They tore it down. Chatty Two.
Chat and chew.
Miller Undertaker, it's a funeral home right
Miller
here.
Undertaker.
Miller's.
It was a
See that
funeral
sign
home
right there? Miller's
sign?
funeral home right here. Then we get to the Twin
Miller's
City
funeral
Club down there. See them steps down there? That place there and go around there to see that. Go downstairs and go to Twin City Club down there, the basement.
Twin City Club
I
was
run
down there
Twin
in the
City.
base.
Beer, it's a club, nightclub. Drank beer and dance.
They used to drink beer and dance in there. He ran the club.
Pawn shop right here, block pawn shop.
Block's Pawn Shop.
Got it? Block pawn shop right here.
Right here. Got it?
Got it? Then Crenshaw Taylor shop right here. Yeah, all black people working in that, yeah.
All black folks
Walking
working
and
there.
talking, shooting pool, looking stores, drinking, they was gambling, doing everything. Don't look like 9th Street now.
Damn.
Cause had bills all that side.
Damn.
Couldn't get down
All
on
on
Saturday.
that
People's
side.
like this in.
Say you couldn't eat the bruh.
Couldn't get down
and
on
they gonna
Saturday.
say it. They gonna say it in here, but you know how parking be on Beale Street. You can't even get no parking.
Right.
That's how it was on 9th Street.
Right. And they ain't had real
Ain't
cars.
no building here. All the building go the building right there. Ain't no building right here. The building.
Hey.
Hey, you couldn't even get in there.
Right there.
All right, go to the next. Go past him.
Nah, he talking some sense.
Nah, he is, but we got time. We
No,
got.
no,
we
I'm
ain't
saying.
got that much time.
No, I'm saying he talking sense on here.
Yeah,
He's showing,
yeah.
he's showing real history.
Go back. Go back. No. Go back. Like right after he done. Right there. You can start right there.
It'd be nice to talk of the town, used to be. That's the only place black folks could go at that time.
Damn. The only place we had.
That's him.
That's him right now. Right there.
That's me right now. That's me right
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Play on.
I wish them days come back to me. Had a good time. We got along down here, had a good time.
Said we got along down here. Leon Majors right there. Had somewhere to go. We had a good time down here together.
Only a few years ago, we were a discouraged people. Because we were the first to lose our jobs when Old Man Depression came along and the last to get them back, we struggled vainly to regain our bearings while depression, fear, and failure stalked the nation.
In the 1930s, things were not looking that good for West 9th Street.
The Great Depression really impacted African Americans on the line. As a matter of fact, it impacted every single fraternal organization, and we're going to see them close the doors of a lot of their businesses. The Knights and Daughters of Tabor are going to lose this building because of the Great Depression. So what we see is a reorganization of West 9th Street.
When that happened, the kind of center of life, though, moved down the street to the Dreamland Ballroom.
When
So now we just not making it to Dreamland. Then we gonna have to do a part 2, bruh.
Right.
Cause it's so much more, it's so many more gems in here that we gonna have to address. And I just hate to rush through everything. We gotta do a part 2.
We got to.
You know
man,
what I'm
we
saying?
compare it with that black the black real estate stuff, man, because there's some.
Nah.
Oh, you
This-
wanna? That's
the
a
rest
whole.
of
That's
this-
a whole segment.
The rest
You
of this
right,
gonna
yeah.
be a whole nother show.
Hey, this.
So, all praise to the Most High, but unfortunately, yeah, we gotta go somewhere. So,
fact, we ain't even here right now.
We're out of time, unfortunately.
We're actually there right now.
Yeah, yeah, right now, yeah, right now. But as y'all can see, get Deuteronomy 28 in verse 16.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Right, so the city of Little Rock, God said, because you got to think, right? If we was all created equal, if we was the same people, just different shades or whatever, then they wouldn't have had no issue with us being a race that prospered, having our own district, you know what I'm saying, where we came and had fun and had business. They wouldn't have had no issue with that. But because we are a different nation than them, in particular the nation that God chose, God said, all right, you disobey my commandments. The cities that you think you're going to prosper in, you're going to be cursed. Mm-hmm. It's going to be people above you in certain seats of power, whatever, that's able to, eminent domain. Give me that. Give me that land. Give me that bill. Give me that street. Give me that block. And man, when you got niggas dying over blocks, dying over projects that done got tore down already. You know what I'm saying? For real. They show you this is above you. It's really above the white man. They just the sword that's being swung.
Right.
God said, you disobey me, you're gonna have to deal with these curses. The white man is just the one enforcing the curses on you. That's why we no longer have our Black Wall Street in Little Rock. That's why West 9th Street is a ghost town now. It's probably the worst area of that section of Little Rock, that Broadway downtown area. Mm-hmm. And it was once the mecca of it. God said you was going to be cursed in the city. Jump down to verse 43.
Verse 43.
Uh-huh.
The stranger that is within thee.
God said the stranger, the other nations, in particular, this white man that's within you, because remember, it was salt and pepper. You know what I'm saying? We was in close proximity. God said that white man that's in your city, go ahead.
Shall get up above thee.
He shall what?
Get up above thee.
You thought that saltine cracker, you know what I'm saying, was going to let you rise above them in a city in which they controlled the government and the jurisdiction and all that? Sadly, you sadly mistaken. God said, nope, that stranger that's within you, he gonna what?
Get up above thee very high.
He gonna get up above you very high to where he gonna build a highway to ensure that. You know what I'm saying? He take over all the suburbs and push you to the edge of the city.
Damn.
And 50 years later, you gonna be, East End.
Stupid.
The white man put your black ass there because you was rising above them and they wasn't having it. Read on.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And you gonna come down very low to GMP, to Hanger Hill, to Highland Park. What's some more projects in Little Rock? The damn Brick Jungle. All of that. Yeah, you gonna that's Highland Park. You're gonna come down very low to that. Understand that. All right? That's prophecy. That's what we had to deal with. That's what you see took place in our history that they've been hiding from us.
Right.
So like I said, we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this. Lord's willing, we pick up with it next week. This is some very, very good history that happened right here in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Exactly. So y'all take heed to this information coming out. And like you said, when we do the next topic on it, when we go in depth in it to some more on this video, we're gonna bring out more history. Y'all want to research these things? Call in next time. Call in when we bring this out, so y'all can have the answers to the questions you've been thinking about all your life. Like when my grandma was talking about this, she was really probably a hoe back then. You didn't know, but she was probably on the main street getting it in right there.
Yeah, that's what the lady, one of the ladies said, that we were doing everything.
We were doing it all. You know, right down in the basement. Damn.
Right.
With the
See, we wasn't doing it Charleston. That was old. Hey, but all praise to the Most High. So, yeah, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe.
Do that.
Spread the word. Share the link. Like I said, this history I ain't never heard about. I done went to school in Little Rock. Been in Little Rock for a minute.
Man.
Never heard about this. All right? So, hey, with that, Lord's will we see y'all next week. Oh, yeah, make sure if y'all want to donate, y'all can hit the PayPal, IUIC.fundraising at IsraelUnite.org. Also, if you want to donate locally, you can hit the PayPal, IUIC.littlerock.ar at IsraelUnite.org. All right?
All praise.
So, hey, with that, you know, that'll top off Black History Month, but we gonna give it one more week. And we gonna go into March with
right.
it. Right? Because this right
they can't
here
limit our Black
is too
history.
much good stuff. Right. Give it the shortest thing.
Shortest month. We're going to roll over on your head.
But, hey, all praise to the Most High. But, hey, Lord's willing, y'all enjoyed this week of
Let's Talk Truth.
Didn't go, the game in trouble, everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold, I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, the weight of the world, we ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, we get it and go, the game in trouble, everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold, I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, the Israelite man, the weight of the world. And we ain't pulling muscle. Hold the line, I prefer the meal, you can hold the fries. True gospel, you can hold the lies. I can see these demons like a poltergeist. When we left out of Egypt, they soul was crying. Now we heading to the promised land. We all in order like a marching band. Spiritual rock, your house built on sand. Hey, we get it and go. In the desert, you know that them heads gon' roll. Face the sun, put their heads on the pole. When Christ come, you know we all gon' know. New body and it ain't gon' fold. It ain't gon' fold. Got a new body and it ain't gon' fold. Hey, it ain't gon' fold. Hey. Join the discussion, take hold on the mission, refrain from sinning and watch how we winning. The doctrine we in it, my bro get the kingdom and women and children, whole nation we need them and sit on the throne like Paul and Peter. 12 gates we in it, we hide out the meter. We all in one mind with a Spanish or Creole or English, we call it your city. Get it and go, the game in trouble, everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold, I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, the weight of the world, we ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, we get it and go, the game in trouble, everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold, I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle, the Israelite man, the weight of the world. And we ain't pulling muscle.
From pushing bricks in Egypt to pushing rocks on the corner. From yellow fever to AIDS and gonorrhea, now we fighting with the Rona, but we ain't pulling muscle. Whoa, got lost in the shuffle. Then I pull out the Bible and pick up the pieces, treat it like a puzzle. If you a dog, this the mother, shut up. I baptized you to sweat up. Running plays, this the setup. Mighty men never let up. This that David and Jonathan. Not a sprinter, marathoning in. Run it again. Okay, you get tired, just run it again. Hood back, I got reading, I'm running it again. I got preachers, I'm cutting again. Hiroshima, push the button again. I drop bombs, give me palms, I got something to win. The kingdom at hand, only us can get in. I mean, we, the sheep, the reason why we hit the streets. Sheesh, learn the commandments and keep. Romans 13, wake up from your sleep. Game time, no, we down for the sweep.
Get it and go, the game in trouble, everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold, I came from nothing, the weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle. we ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle. The weight of the world, we ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle. We muscle. We go, the game in trouble. Everything that you know, it came with a struggle. We shine like gold. I came from nothing. The weight of the world, and we ain't pulling muscle.
We ain't pulling muscle. And we ain't pulling muscle. The Israelite man, the weight of the world.